with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, to receive his mark on his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of God, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angel and in the presence of the Lamb. The smoke, the torment, ascended up forever and ever, and they have no rest, day or night, who worship the beast and his image, and receiveth the mark of his name. Here are they, here are they. Here is the patience of the saints, the patience of the saints. Here are they that keep the commandments of God and the faith, and the faith, and the faith of Jesus. Revelation 14:6 through 12.
Happy Sabbath. We're so happy everybody's here this morning. Feliz sábado a todos. Estamos contentos que están aquí esta mañana. Since Ricky is still in Puerto Rico, he's coming tomorrow. So he's going to do our presentation for the kids in Zoom again. So I hope you guys enjoy it. And he's this time going to be able to see all of you. So I hope, we'll be a little different. But next Sabbath, we will go back to the same, okay? Como Ricky aún está en Puerto Rico, él está conectado desde Puerto Rico y nos va a dar la presentación hoy desde, ahí todos están saludando y él los va a poder ver, así él sabe quién va a participar y el otro sábado volvemos a lo normal, ¿ok? Así que el Señor les bendiga. Ricky?
Yes. Do I need to share screen? Okay. Yep. All right. Can you see the screen?
Hold on, let's see here. Let's see. Okay.
Is this okay?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, go ahead. Okay. So everybody can see the screen, correct? And so I'm gonna put you on mute, okay, honey? Because I get feedback. And then you guys already sang the Revelation song, so we're gonna go through that. But I wanted to share with you guys, can you see the picture there of the United States? Let me move this so that you guys can see it a little bit better. So I am on an island off the coast of the United States, and just actually pretty far away from the coast of the United States. It's called the island of Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico. And then this is where we're staying at. If you can see the little island and the circle around the island, that's our little island. That's where I was born. And we are staying in a place called Mayagüez. So the capital of Puerto Rico is San Juan, which is in the square box. And then Mayagüez is where that star is. So that's where we are staying at right now. And we've been My grandparent is a little bit older, and he's 93 years old. And I have another grandparent, grandmother, and she's old as well. She's about 86 years old. So they're getting pretty old, and I wanted to visit them because my 93-year-old grandpa is not doing as well as we thought. So luckily I got to see him, and so did my children. So my boys got to see him before anything happens, right? But we did get to see some beautiful beaches. Now, I know a lot of you love the beach. Raise your hand if you love the beach. I love that beach. I am so impressed by the beaches here. And I'm going to show you a couple pictures of beaches. Maybe you guys want to visit sometime this beautiful island. Well, this is not a beach, but this is one of the lagoons, one of the waterfalls we went to visit. And it's called Gozalandia. It's a beautiful lagoon. You can jump off some of the rocks here, as some people are seeing, and go right into the lagoon. It's actually 28 feet deep. And here's a beautiful beach that we went to, and this is called Beach Tres Palmas. You're probably thinking, this is a pretty rocky beach. Well, it is. It's actually a coral reef, and you can snorkel here and see all kinds of beautiful different types of fishes. This is another beach we went to. This is called Crash Boat. It actually is named in English, Playa Crash Boat. And this is where you have these little sections here where you can jump off the bridge and go into a beautiful beach, a beautiful sandy beach. And it was a beautiful day that we went to. So this is called Crash Boat. So these are some of the beaches we went to. And I thank you guys for being patient with us. Next week, I'll be with you guys. And I'm excited about that. That way we don't have to do through a Zoom call, right? But we're going to study our secrets of prophecy. It's a very interesting turn of events that we've been studying as far as the 7 seals. Now, who did our memory verse? Anybody memorize our memory verse? Come on up there. Come on up here.
We got several, Ricky.
And barely see it looks like crystals up there.
Kareem and Crystal. Yeah.
Looks like Kareem's up there as well. Okay.
For the living know that they'll die, but the dead know nothing. For they have no more reward, for the memory of them is forgotten. Ecclesiastes 9 verse 5, Ecclesiastes 9 verse 5.
Amen. Well done. So, that was our memory verse. For the living know that they shall die, but the dead know not anything. I want you guys to write this down. This is our new memory verse. Revelation 7:14. These are they which came out of great tribulation and have washed their robes and made them white in the blood of the Lamb. So, I am so grateful that we have Jesus. He makes our robes white. And it is through his blood that we can have salvation. So that's our memory verse, Revelation 7:14. So please write it down. And we were talking about the 7 seals, right? You guys remember the 7 seals? I want you guys to remember, the first seal, we had a white horse, a beautiful white horse. White represents what? The color represents what? How about you guys? Christian, Ricardo, what do you think?
Purity.
Purity, that's right. Christian and Ricardo right here, if you guys can see them. They're right here with me. Purity. And we know if we can get 2 volunteers to hold up our timeline. We get 2 volunteers to hold up our timeline so we can actually see where we're at in our timeline. So who wants to go up there and hold up our timeline?
I've got Bubba and
Jerry can help.
Hopper's coming.
All right, who do you have here? Let's see. Oh yeah, we got a couple of people coming up. Is that Harper? Oh, welcome back, Harper. And who is that? Is that Bubba?
Here you go, Bubba.
All right, Bubba. Hold up our timeline and see if you can't get it together. I know we haven't used this in a while. Because as you can see, we got our timeline there. Maybe Jerry can help out holding it up a little bit so everybody can see. All right. So we had the white horse, or the first seal, that represented the church of Ephesus, right? That time period when the apostles went out to conquer. And they did not conquer by swords, but conquered by the word of God. And then we had our second seal, which is the red horse. And that red horse stands for blood because many of the saints were persecuted during that time. And the church during that time was the church of Smyrna, right? Then we have our third seal, which was the black horse. And if white meant purity, then black horse meant corruption. That's when the church was starting to compromise. Remember that? And what church represented during this time? You guys remember?
Pergamos.
Grab your Bibles. Let's remember. See what we got. Who can remember? Maybe you can turn on your microphone, honey. That way I can hear some kids.
I said Pergamos.
Who was representative of the black horse? What was it? Was it Pergamos?
Yes.
All right, it was Pergamos. And that was the compromising church. And then we have the fourth seal, where now we have a corrupted church. It's a dead church. And this represented with a pale horse. And of course, who was that church during that time period? If you said Thyatira, you're correct. That was Thyatira. Now we have a fifth seal. We had a fifth seal, and this was the persecutions that were happening when the power of the church was given to, the power of the state was given to the church. That means the church controlled everything. The government, the armies, and it started persecuting the saints. And we saw that last time that we were together when there was souls under the altar, okay? Souls under the altar. But those souls weren't really, that was a symbolic representation of how when someone persecuted and dies from the persecution because they believe in God, God hears their cry. It's not that they're crying right now, they're asleep, resting in the graves. But God remembers what happened to them because He's written it all down. And then we have the sixth seal. And the sixth seal tells us of some awesome natural things that happened during this time period to let us know how close we are to the end. And the sixth seal, it stated that there was an earthquake in Lisbon in 1755. A huge earthquake that caused disaster. So 1755. So we're towards the end of that timeline that you're holding up right now. And then afterwards, in 1780, we had the Great Dark Day. That's exactly what happened in the book of Revelation. A dark day happened at 10 o'clock in the morning and lasted throughout the entire day. It was so dark the chickens went back to roost. Thank you guys for helping out. so dark that the chickens went back to roost. The animals went to bed, and people had to light candles just to see. And that happened in 1780. And then, that same night, 1780, a blood red moon, just like it says in the book of Revelation, that would occur. We also have, in the book of Revelation, in 1833, stars falling from the sky. That's exactly what it said in the book of Revelation that would happen. That last church started in 1844. So this was just 11 years in 1833 when the stars started falling to let us know that we're nearing the time of the end. The time of the end. And then in 1844, when the Laodicea church started, 1844, we began that time period called the time of the end. We're in the end times. Now, it was 1 year after this event where the stars fell from heaven in 1834, where William Miller started preaching about the nearness of Christ's coming. He started preaching 10 years prior to 1844 to let people know that God is coming soon. This was something amazing. People had never heard this. He used the prophecies of Daniel chapter 8 to let us know when the soon coming of Jesus would be. Yeah, he might have got the date right, but he got the event wrong. Jesus didn't come in 1844, but judgment began in 1844. And then they started preaching that after the judgment, Jesus would soon come. So from 1834 to 1844, William Miller did a mighty work in presenting this message of the prophecies that Jesus was coming soon. And he was right. Jesus is coming soon. So in 1844, William Miller, Ellen G. White, Brother Andrews, there's several others that were with them, began preaching and teaching the soon and nearness of God's coming. So, Revelation 16:17, we have this question. Can someone read this for me? Is there anyone out there that would like to read it, participate, and read this for me? Maybe you could turn off the mic, maybe I can hear.
We have, what's your name?
Kiana.
Kayana's going to do it, Ricky.
For the great day
Kiana's
of
gonna read it?
his
Okay.
wrath has come, and who shall be able to stand? Revelation 6, verse 17.
Thank you.
Good job, Kiana. You get a little prize there for you. So, who is able to stand? So we know that the great day of God's wrath is coming. We had the stars fall. We had the sun turned in darkness. We had the moon turn into blood and the great earthquake. And then the questions posed, who is going to stand when God comes? Who's going to be able to stand straight? Who's going to be able to stand when he comes? That's the question that ends Revelation chapter 6. So Revelation chapter 7, we get the answer to this question, who is able to stand when Jesus comes back? I don't know about you guys, but I want to be there when Jesus comes. I want to see him in the clouds. Some of us have passed away. Some saints have died and are resting. But I want to be alive when Jesus comes. And we are alive today, and Jesus is soon to come. But Revelation chapter 7 tells us who is going to stand when Jesus comes back. So this is what the answer to the question of who is going to be stand starts out with. So Revelation chapter 7 verse 1 says this, and angels standing on the four corners of the earth, holding the four winds of the earth, that the wind should not blow on the earth, nor on the sea, nor on any tree. What is this? This is an interesting image, right? Can you imagine four angels surrounding the earth and holding back something called the four winds? What does all this mean? We know that the book of Revelation is a book of symbols, and we're going to learn a little bit about what some of these symbols mean. Now, the four corners of the earth. Has anybody ever played with a compass before? A compass has 4 directions. Can anybody tell me what 4 directions are on the compass? Maybe you can turn on the sound so I can hear.
Lewis has the answer for you, Pastor Ricky.
All right, Lewis, go ahead.
North, west, east, south.
Good job. Go get yourself a prize. There's 4 corners, north, south, east, and west. What this means is this is going to encompass the entire globe. No matter what direction you're looking at, north, south, east, or west, all these angels are going to, these 4 angels are going to the 4 corners. That means it's going to be a global event. And they're holding back something called the 4 winds, or the winds. What are they holding back? Because this is going to be a global event. They're holding something back. Now, how many of you guys like the wind? How many of you guys enjoy? Raise your hand so I can see you guys. How many of you guys enjoy the wind, a nice breeze, maybe at the beach, maybe at your house, and when it's nice and hot? Me too. I love a nice wind. But winds can be a little bit dangerous, like this picture here. This is actually a picture of happened during Hurricane Maria here in Puerto Rico. The winds rushed up, crashed into actually went, took water from the beaches and actually went on the roads. Of course, there's palm trees that came down, houses lost their roofs. Many people lost their homes altogether. But this happened as a hurricane. Some winds, like tornadoes, do a lot of destruction as well. So there's winds like a breeze, is a nice wind, but then there's winds that are hurricane strong and can do so much damage. But look what Jeremiah says here. I'm going to ask Christian to see if he'll read this for us. All right, Christian, come on up here. So see if you got to speak loudly so everybody can hear. Go ahead. A noise?
A noise shall come even to the ends of the earth, for the Lord hath a controversy with the nations. He will plead with all flesh. He will give them that are wicked to the sword, saith the Lord. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, behold, his evil shall go forth from nation to nation, and of
Ricky, you cut off. Ricky, we cannot hear you. Ricky. Jerry, did you finish reading? You read it. You keep reading.